If you really want to understand why people fall in love with Ponte Vedra Beach, you can't see it in a listing photo. You have to watch what happens on this beautiful coast even before the sun comes up. I'm Karen Tyrrell, and out of everything I show buyers in this market, this is the one thing they can't fully understand until they've stood here themselves. By the way, I help people just like you every week who want to move to or sell in Ponte Vedra Beach. And I'd love to help you too. The best way to reach me is by calling or texting me at 904-822-9123 or booking an appointment using the link below. You'll find everything you need in the description. And stick around because at the end, I'm going to tell you why A1A homes have held their value better than almost anywhere else on this coast and what that actually means if you're thinking about buying here. So let's talk about what actually makes this stretch of coastline different. It's not just the water, it's not just the homes, it's the rhythm. When you walk along the beautiful coastline at Mickler's Landing on a typical early morning, the same groups of people show up in generally the same order. Cyclists move through first, riding that flat stretch near the dunes in loose, unhurried groups. Families with strollers follow not long after in no particular rush to be anywhere. Dog walkers tend to know each other by name after enough mornings spent on the same stretch of sand. And further out, surfers sit patiently on their boards, waiting for that perfect swell to start the day. This is the kind of slow, easy coastal culture that many simply cannot manufacture or rush. It's not a marketing concept. It's simply how the days unfold here, and it's a major part of what relocating buyers are actually buying into. You either get to be a part of it or you don't. Now, if you're seriously considering this lifestyle, here's the practical side, the part most people actually need to know. There are specific beach access points along A1A that locals use, and they're not always where you'd expect. Parking matters more than people think, especially in season. Locals tend to gravitate towards specific access points where parking is more manageable and the walk to the water is shorter. Knowing which access points are which and where to park accordingly can be the difference between a 5-minute walk to the sand and a much longer search for a spot, particularly on the weekends. Let's talk about value because this is where it gets interesting. One of the most common questions from relocating buyers is whether Oceanfront is worth the premium over a home 1 or 2 streets back. The honest answer depends on what you're actually trying to buy. Oceanfront homes deliver exactly what the name promises: direct beach access and unobstructed views at a price point that reflects both. Ocean adjacent homes just a block or two inland often capture most of the same daily lifestyle: the walk, the ritual, the rhythm, and a meaningfully different price point. For many, understanding the distinction clearly before touring saves a significant amount of time and narrows the search considerably. There are just some things that listing photos can never show you. A listing can show square footage, a renovated kitchen, a pool, or a partial ocean view. But what it can't capture is what it feels like to walk out your door at 6 in the morning and already know 3 of your neighbors by name because you see them out there every single day. It can't capture the specific quality of light just after sunrise or the sound of the tide pulling back before the rest of the world wakes up. These are the details that consistently convince buyers that this is the right coastline for them, and they're the details that simply have to be experienced in person rather than scrolled past online. And the rhythm shifts depending on the day. A weekday morning feels almost private, just a handful of regulars sharing the boardwalk and the sand. A Saturday brings a different energy entirely. More families, more activity, a livelier version of the same ritual. Both versions are part of what makes this area work as a place to actually live. And it's worth experiencing this coastline on both a weekday and a weekend before you decide. I'll also share that this lifestyle isn't for everyone. If you're looking for something a little more energetic or a more commercial beach scene, Jacksonville Beach might suit you better. If you want more historic charm, St. Augustine has its own beautiful version. But if what you're after is the quiet, established, slow mornings version of a coastal life, this is genuinely one of the best versions of it in Florida. Buyers drawn to this area value routine, community, familiarity, and a slower pace over fast paced amenities. So here's what I promised you. A1A homes have held their value remarkably well, even through shifting markets. And a big part of that comes down to exactly what we just talked about. This is a lifestyle that can't be replicated overnight in a new development somewhere else. Limited inventory, established daily culture, and direct or near direct beach access tend to hold their worth because none of that can be manufactured. If you're thinking about buying here, that's worth factoring into how you think about long term value, not just today's price. Whether you're already picturing your own morning walk on these beaches, or you're still deciding if this is the right coastline for you, the next step is the same: a real conversation, not a guess.